Here is your clean TTS ready voiceover script. Okay, so let me ask you something real quick. What would you do if your boss looked you dead in the eyes, walked into HR, and told them you leaked company documents to a competitor not behind your back? Right in front of you. While you just sat there. Frozen. That is exactly what happened to me. And I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes. Because what happened after that day, I still cannot fully believe it myself. 2 years ago, I was a project coordinator at a mid-size IT company. Decent salary, long hours, but I genuinely loved what I did. I was good at it too. Not bragging, just facts. My department head was a guy named Ahmed. On the surface, total professional. Well-dressed, well-spoken, always had the right thing to say in meetings. But the people who actually worked with him every day, they knew the real story. Ahmed was insecure. Deeply insecure. The kind of insecure where if someone else shined a little too bright, he could not sleep at night. And the problem was, I started shining. 3 months into a project that the company had been struggling with for 2 years, I delivered results. The client was happy. Senior management was happy. The CEO personally sent me an email. And he copied the entire team on it. My name was in that email. Ahmed's name was not. I did not think much of it at the time. But Ahmed did. That single email changed everything between us. It started small. He stopped including me in key meetings. He would take my ideas, present them as his own. He redirected my best work to other team members. I stayed quiet. I told myself, be professional. Do not create drama. Just keep doing good work. Big mistake. Because while I was being patient and professional, Ahmed was building a case against me. Then came the project that changed everything. The company's biggest client. A major contract. Ahmed made me the project lead. And I thought, okay, maybe things are getting better between us. Maybe he actually trusts me with this. I was wrong. So wrong. He made me the project lead so that when things went wrong, I would be the one holding the blame. And he made sure things went wrong. He withheld deadline information from me. He blocked client emails before they reached me. He quietly turned team members against me behind closed doors. When the project started falling behind schedule, Ahmed had already made his move. He went to HR before I even knew there was a problem. On a Monday morning, the HR manager called me in. Said Ahmed would be there too. I walked into that room thinking it was a project discussion. It was not. Ahmed was already sitting there when I arrived. Smiling. Comfortable. Like a man who had already won. The HR manager opened her file and said, Ahmed has raised some serious concerns about your conduct. We want to hear your side. And then Ahmed started talking. Every word out of his mouth was a lie, but he said each one with so much confidence, so much calm, that it sounded like testimony. He said I deliberately missed project deadlines. He said I mistreated team members. He said I gave the client incorrect information. And then came the big one. He said I leaked an internal document to a competitor company. Document leak. That is not just a workplace complaint. That is a criminal allegation. My hands were shaking. I could not find words. I looked at the HR manager and said, none of this is true. Ahmed immediately turned to HR and said, see, this is exactly the attitude and defensiveness I was telling you about. The HR manager wrote something down. And I sat there realizing, I had already lost this room. Without doing a single thing wrong, I had walked into a trap and lost. I went home that day in silence. HR told me I was on administrative leave while they investigated. That meant stay home, wait, and wonder. 3 years of late nights. Weekends sacrificed. Every deadline hit, every client impressed, all of it now sitting under a pile of lies. My mom was home when I got back. She asked me what was wrong. I told her it was just work stress. I lied to protect her from the weight I was carrying. That night I could not sleep. I stared at the ceiling for hours asking myself, did I actually do something wrong? Was there something I missed? That is what being falsely accused does to you. It makes you question yourself even when you know the truth. But then morning came. And something shifted inside me. I decided that sitting with the pain was not going to fix anything. Evidence would. I opened my laptop and I started going through everything. Every email. Every chat log. Every project file. Every meeting note. 3 years of data, and I was going to find every single piece that told the real story. The first thing I found was an email thread where Ahmed himself had sent the client incorrect deadline information. From his own account. He had accidentally copied me on it. Screenshot. Saved. The second thing I found was the project management tool history. Every task had a timestamp. And that timestamp showed that my deadlines were not missed because I was lazy or careless. They were missed because Ahmed assigned them to me late. Deliberately late. Exported. Saved. And then the third thing. This one I almost forgot about. 2 months earlier, a team member named Bilal had accidentally sent me a WhatsApp message that was meant for Ahmed. It said, "Ahmed, bye, when are we executing the plan to get our eyes removed from the project?" That message was still sitting in my phone. 2 months old. Sent by accident. Never followed up on by either of them because I think they assumed I had not paid attention to it. I had paid very close attention to it. This was not a workplace conflict. This was a coordinated plan. Planned at least 2 months before that HR meeting. Ahmed had engineered the entire situation from the beginning. I documented everything, created a folder. Organized it chronologically. Added context notes to each piece of evidence. And then I consulted a lawyer. The lawyer reviewed everything and said, "This is a strong position." The document leak allegation in particular, if the company investigates and finds no evidence, then the allegation itself becomes a false accusation. And under employment law, that is serious. He told me to respond to HR formally and in writing. Include all the evidence. And explicitly state that if these allegations are proven false, I reserve the right to pursue legal remedies. I spent 3 hours writing that letter. Every accusation, addressed point by point, with attached evidence. On the document leak, I specifically wrote that I welcome a full IT security audit of my devices and accounts. Any unauthorized data transfer can be independently verified. I am requesting this audit myself. Because when you have done nothing wrong, an audit is not a threat. It is a relief. I sent the letter to HR. And I copied the CEO, the legal department, and the HR director. I did not copy Ahmed. The next 24 hours were completely silent. Then the HR manager called. She said, "Araz, we need to meet tomorrow. Ahmed will be there. And this time, legal will also be present." For the first time in days, I smiled. I walked into that meeting room the next day a different person than I had been a week earlier. Ahmed was there. still carrying that confident posture. But this time his eyes were doing something different. He was avoiding mine. The legal representative was a woman named Sarah. Serious expression, thick file in front of her. Sarah opened the meeting and said, "Arise, the letter you sent raises significant counterclaims. We want to make sure this is handled properly and completely." Ahmed interrupted. He said, "Sarah, this is just him trying to deflect and cover up his own mistakes." Sarah raised her hand and said, "Ahmed, I will come to you. Let me finish." Ahmed went quiet. I had never seen Ahmed go quiet before. Sarah turned to me and asked if I was confident about requesting the IT audit. I said, "Absolutely." She turned to Ahmed and asked him directly about the document leak allegation. She asked him if he had any concrete evidence. Any file transfers, any logs, anything specific. Ahmed said he strongly believed that. Sarah asked again. Concrete evidence? Ahmed said not at this time, but... Sarah closed her file. I placed the WhatsApp screenshot on the table. "This message," I said, "is 2 months old. It was sent to me by accident. It shows a coordinated plan to remove me from the project before any of this so-called misconduct allegedly occurred." The room went completely silent. Ahmed looked at that screenshot and I watched his confidence leave his face in real time. The investigation that followed was thorough. The IT audit found 0 data transfers from my devices. Nothing. The project management logs confirmed that task delays originated from Ahmed's end, not mine, and Bilal, when HR brought him in for questioning, broke down and told them everything. Ahmed had instructed him to slow down task assignments to me, to filter which client communications reached me, to quietly build resentment toward me within the team. All of it was deliberate. All of it was documented. All of it was now on record. The CEO, the same person who had sent me that congratulatory email months earlier, became personally involved in the outcome. Ahmed was given 2 options. Resign quietly, or face termination with cause and potential legal proceedings related to the false allegation. Ahmed resigned. 15 years at that company. Gone in an afternoon. I came back to my desk a few weeks later. Ahmed's chair was empty. And I want to be honest with you here, because I think this part matters. I did not feel happy looking at that empty chair. I did not feel victorious. I did not feel like I had won something. I just felt tired. And a little sad, actually. Because Ahmed was genuinely talented. He knew this industry. He had skills that took years to build. And he threw all of it away because he was afraid of someone he thought might outgrow him. That is the most tragic part of this whole story. He did not lose because I fought him. He lost because he fought himself. He chose fear over growth. He chose sabotage over competition. And fear, when you let it drive your decisions, always destroys the person holding it first. If you are watching this and you have an Ahmed in your life, someone who is quietly making things harder for you, taking credit for your work, building a case against you behind closed doors, here is the only advice I can give you. Document everything. Stay professional. Keep doing your best work. Do not let their chaos pull you into behavior you will regret. The truth always needs evidence, not emotion. And when your moment comes, and it will come, you will be ready. If this story felt real to you, if you have ever sat in a room and felt like the walls were closing in while someone lied about you, drop a comment and tell me about it. I read every single one. If you want more stories like this, subscribe. I put out new content every week. And if this video gave you something today, whether that is validation or perspective or just the reminder that things do turn around, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.